Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Folks, I'm going to take a very detailed look at the first draft of the major stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan, that has actually been released by the Democrats. You'll see this headline on your screen from Bloomberg that reads, House Democrats unveil first draft of the stimulus bill measures. Now, there are a lot of really interesting things in here, so let's just jump right in. So, folks, the first thing that jumps out at me is that despite President Biden saying the $15 an hour minimum wage was unlikely to happen, despite concerns from the conservative Democrat Joe Manchin, it looks like Bernie Sanders, there he is. What's up, Bernie? The independent from Vermont. And concerns from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right here. There she is. Hello, Congresswoman. Have been heard because the Democrats are still forging ahead with the $15 an hour minimum wage. Now, keep in mind that if this does indeed happen, it's going to be phased in over several years. Despite this making its way into the first draft, this will end up on the chopping block based on all the signs we've seen so far. So, folks, I'm going to give you the highlights, and there are billions of dollars planned for airline staff, for airlines, as well as trains. Let's start with the stimulus relief. And by the way, I'll go through all of these points here and I'll highlight the key points here. So make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end. Let's start with the most important for most of our fellow Americans, the $1,400 stimulus checks. They're going to be $1,400 stimulus checks based on the same thresholds that I've alluded to in previous videos. $75,000 for a single filer, $150,000 for couples filing jointly. So, folks, these payments start to phase out if a single person makes more than $100,000 a year based on most recent tax returns, or married taxpayers make more than $200,000 a year. They will basically get nothing. Now, the eligibility will be based on most recent tax returns, 2019 or 2020 income, and this would send out $1,400 payments to adults and child dependents in households that qualify. Now, this is unlike the first stimulus check and the second stimulus check, so this is encouraging. Now, here's what else is included. An expansion and an extension of the unemployment benefits, which is very important to millions of our fellow Americans. These unemployment benefits are scheduled to run out on the 14th of March, so this will increase the unemployment booster from $300 a week to $400 a week through the end of August. Now, there was initial reporting that this would be through the end of September, but it does look like they have curtailed that a little bit, and this will be through the end of August. Now, folks, the good news is the PUA program, the benefit for self-employed workers, part-time workers, gig workers, would also be extended because that's going to be ending on the 14th of March. So that will also be extended until the 14th of August. Now, the paid leave for workers and tax credits for employers with fewer than 500 employees to reimburse them for the cost of the leave would also be a part of this. Now, for parents, this is an encouraging sign. There'll be an increase in the annual child tax credit up to $3,600 per year for children 5 years and younger, and $3,000 for those 6 and up per child. So this is important. That money would come in monthly installments starting in July of 2021 and then ending in December of 2021. Now, there will also be a bump in the earned income tax credit for low-wage workers and the dependent care tax credit for children and adults. I'll do another video going into a little bit more detail about that. If you folks need it, let me know in the comment section below. So, folks, there's an education and labor panel that's working on this, and they want to provide everything that you're going to see on your screen right now. They want to provide $130 billion for kindergarten through 12th grade school reopening, $40 billion for higher education institutions, $39 billion for childcare businesses, $5 billion for extended pandemic food benefits, $4 billion for expanded home heating assistance, $1.4 billion for senior care services, provisions to tighten workplace safety standards because of the pandemic, and funding to subsidize health insurance for those who recently became unemployed, and to address a rise in domestic violence and child abuse, which has actually been on the increase, which has been on the rise as a direct result of this pandemic. So, folks, quite a lot of items there, and the Democrats have more items. This is a very ambitious proposal. Now, the Financial Services Committee, led by Chairwoman Maxine Waters, there she is. Hello, Congresswoman. Now, the Financial Services Committee has the following things that they've introduced into the bill. $10 billion to use the Defense Production Act, the DPA, to produce masks and other equipment. $25 billion, folks, for rental assistance through the Treasury Department. $5 billion in assistance for the homeless. $10 billion for direct assistance to homeowners for mortgage payments, property taxes, and utility costs. Quite a lot of assistance, folks. $14 billion in payroll assistance to airlines, with $1 billion for their contractors. So, folks, it looks like this is, everybody's getting some money. And as far as the Transportation Committee is concerned, and by the way, Pete Buttigieg is the new U.S. Secretary of Transportation. This part of the proposal includes $50 billion for FEMA to deal with the disaster, $30 billion for transit, $8 billion for airports, and $1.5 billion for Amtrak for rail. So that's what's going on, everybody. This is the first detailed draft. Now, this is going to go through a few revisions, but I don't see any major revisions such as the curtailing of the stimulus checks or the curtailing of the unemployment benefits. We could see some targeting between now and when this is finally signed by the president, which I expect to happen in about 2 or 3 weeks, because this week, everyone's busy with the impeachment trial. But let me know what you think of this. Hopefully you learned something new. Please click like. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Also follow me on Twitter. Here's my Twitter feed. You'll see what I'm reading. You'll see what I'm retweeting in real time. So join our Twitter community. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time.